World News in 5.
Right now.
News and developments making headlines around the world in 5 minutes. World News in 5. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Good day to all of our listeners here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service. This is World News in 5 and I'm your host, Steph Vicente. Russia says it shut down or neutralized more than 800 Ukrainian drones overnight in what appears to be one of the largest aerial attacks on Russian territory this year. The CNN reports Russian authorities said at least 6 people were killed, including 5 in the Rostov region and 1 in the Moscow region. Air defenses reportedly intercepted drones across 17 regions, with 187 drones downed or neutralized over the Moscow region alone. A major fire also broke out at a wild berries warehouse near Moscow, although officials said no one was injured there. Ukraine has increasingly targeted sites deep inside Russia, including industrial facilities, refineries, and logistics centers that it says support the Russian war effort. The Ukrainian military said a defense industrial facility producing solid rocket propellant in Rostov was also struck. In other news overseas, U.S. President Donald Trump's Middle East envoy, Jared Kushner, has held rare talks with Hamas representatives in Egypt as Washington seeks to advance its Gaza peace plan. According to BBC News, a Palestinian official said Kushner met a delegation led by Hamas's new leader, Khalil Al-Haya, in what is reportedly the first meeting at this level since last year's Gaza ceasefire agreement. The talks reportedly focused on the proposed disarmament of Hamas, the withdrawal of Israeli forces, and humanitarian efforts in Gaza. Israel has rejected the US-backed 15-point plan, with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu insisting that Hamas must be fully disarmed before any Israeli military withdrawal. 8 Muslim-majority countries, including Egypt, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Turkey, Pakistan, and Indonesia, condemned Israel's rejection of the proposal. Kushner also met Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, while further discussions with Israeli officials are expected as efforts continue to advance the peace initiative. And finally, the top U.S. military commander in the Middle East says mental health is a priority aboard the USS Lincoln, following reports of difficult conditions on the long-deployed aircraft carrier. The BBC reports Admiral Brad Cooper said the ship has among the lowest numbers of reported mental health cases among the U.S. Navy's 11 active aircraft carriers. However, he acknowledged that prolonged service at sea is uniquely challenging and that the Lincoln has spent more than 240 consecutive days at sea. The carrier arrived in the Middle East in January and has supported U.S. military operations against Iran, including a blockade of Iranian ports. Family members of some sailors have raised concerns about deteriorating mental health, while reports have emerged of sailors allegedly attempting to jump overboard. The U.S. Navy has acknowledged supply challenges aboard the ship but has denied that the Lincoln is experiencing a mental health crisis among its roughly 5,000 personnel. And that concludes today's edition of World News in 5. For Radyo Pilipinas World Service, this has been Steph Vicente. Good day and stay safe, everyone.
World News in 5.
Right now.
News and developments making headlines around the world in 5 minutes. World News in 5. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.